Good morning, folks, and welcome aboard the WorkFlow Max Partner Success Summit. This is the third presentation, and it will be working with David Jackson of Ripped Orange. Really excited about this one. Just to give you a quick background, some of you may not have attended our previous presentations. So the WorkFlow Max Partner Success Summit is an education tool designed to develop an advanced knowledge of WorkFlow Max. Now, WorkFlow Max is a project management system that is owned by Xero. So it was founded by two New Zealand entrepreneurs for the engineering industry, but was acquired by Xero about 4 years ago. And what we're doing is we're talking through how to work through this with your clients to give a more in-depth, detailed understanding of their business. Now, with that in mind, we've had Will McTavish start us off with business analysis, so really scoping out your client's requirements. Nicole last week talked to us about setup and customization, actually taking that business analysis and turning it into practical steps. And today what we're going to be working with is Dave Jackson, the founder of Ripped Orange, is going to be talking to us in detail about some of the advanced personalization and integration options within WorkFlow Max, so actually taking it out of the system. So Dave is a Microsoft Partner Awards finalist, as well as a Microsoft Silver Partner, very experienced with 20 years in and around the IT industry. He's been a specialist cloud trainer and implementer. And today what he's going to be talking about is, for reporting purposes, integration with Power BI, some details around that, file management through Google Drive, integrating with WorkFlow Max, email collaboration through Office 365, and website lead management, so actually having a lead pull through your website straight into the workflow tool, WorkFlow Max. Dave's also done significant contracts with Fulton Hogan and Wholesome Construction, amongst many, many other clients that he set up, and really looking forward to this presentation on personalization and integration.
Well, welcome, and thank you for joining us today. As I said, over the next 30 to 40 minutes, we're going to explore how your clients can be more productive and more profitable using WorkFlow Max. WorkFlow Max is a great tool to help you understand your business process and become more profitable through these understandings and learnings along the way. Now, as an accounting partner, you can help them get more from WorkFlow Max and be more knowledgeable to assist them in their business goals, not only within WorkFlow Max, but also in the other systems that touch WorkFlow Max, and that's what we're going to spend some time on today. So as I said, over the next 45 minutes, we're going to focus on how your clients can integrate WorkFlow Max with some of their existing tools to become more productive. So I'm going to cover email, documents and sharing, and some data analysis at the end. At the end, there will be some time for questions, and I've got some show notes that you can reference after with some links to some of the tools that I show. So let's get started. First quick slide, just on Ripped Orange. So we've been operating in New Zealand for around 10 years. We're experienced in Office 365, WorkFlow Max, Apple and Google, and we support businesses of all sizes, from one-man organizations to many thousands of staff. Right, email. So email will be your client's most used application. Any time savings in this area are absolutely gold. I'm going to share two areas around this. One is the Office 365 app, and secondly is a collaboration manager. I may also touch, just with the speed of the cloud, there was a new announcement last week around a Xero add-in for 365, so I'll touch on that as we go through. So let's have a look at this. First of all, we've got Microsoft Office, so I'm just going to jump into my email. This looks like Outlook, and we've got the Xero Microsoft Office 365 app. What a mouthful. What does it do? So you'll see here I've got an email that's come in. In this scenario, we've got a WorkFlow Max account, which is around a company called Orange Landscaping, and Stu's been out mowing yesterday, and they're not too happy about the photo. They've taken a photo of Stu on his bike doing the mowing, so they're not very thrilled about that. So we want to look in this and just find out a little bit more about that account. You see the Xero icon here? If I click on this, it will, with the power of the internet, there we go, look up and find that, yes, okay, David Jackson, who sent the email, David and Tanya Jackson are a client. In fact, we've got a couple of jobs on, so you can see some information here around that. So that's the add-in. Just as I said, this recently announced was exactly the opposite way within Xero and WorkFlow Max, and there's a link to that on our show notes, but that was announced 3 days ago, I think. Now, what do you do with that email? You want to save that into WorkFlow Max. So I can see the job here is Methvin 1, if I forward this email, so I'm going to forward this email to WorkFlow Max. And so we're going to talk here about the Collaboration Manager. So the Collaboration Manager is quite simple. It allows you to set up an email address, which normally this is company name and email my job. You can see that we see this from the job section. And you include the job number or the quote number and you press send, and then that will automatically come into WorkFlow Max. Let's do that now. What we normally suggest is that you load a contact into WorkFlow Max, into Outlook. So it's send to WorkFlow Max. You see the orange landscaping, and this job was Methvin 1, which was the job number. You can do a customized job number in WorkFlow Max for those that aren't aware of that. So how does that look? Let's go into WorkFlow Max and have a look. So we come into a WorkFlow Max site. We're going to look up this job. Dave and Tanya Jackson here. And we'll come into the job. So this is a great way to have information straight into WorkFlow Max and attached within it. So if I click on here, we will see in the notes here that this is the email that's just come through. So that email is straight within the job. But wait, there is more. So we've seen that, we've linked it through. The next part of this equation is documents. So how do I link documents that I've got within other cloud storage tools into WorkFlow Max? So most of your clients, I imagine, are using Google Drive, Office 365, Dropbox, or Box, or have some people using it within the organization. Just as you can link apps with Xero and WorkFlow Max, you can link WorkFlow Max with these tools, and it allows you to embed and view those documents within WorkFlow Max. So let's have a look at that now, shall we? So if I come back into this job that Stu sent through, you'll see here the Documents tab, and I'm going to click on this, and it looks a little bit different to what you've seen normally. And you'll see here is that same attachment that I sent through, so that attachment has come through into the job. I've got it down here. Now, if I jump into Google Drive, this is the same file. So you can see here we've got a structure of Dave and Tanya Jackson, the jobs that they're working on, and this Methvin scheduled mowing. Now I've got a suggestion for Stu here on a new mower, so I'm going to load this up into this job. So I've got a new file that I'm going to upload. And so I'm doing this within Google Drive. I'm not even touching WorkFlow Max here. But if I open this file, we'll just load that up now. Now we've got a new improvement on the lawnmower. It's pretty cool, eh? If I go back into WorkFlow Max, and we'll just refresh this screen, and if you look down here, you'll see that that file is uploaded there. So you've got collaboration happening in both ways. Now that's all well and good. Where is that useful? If you're partnering and working with your clients, you can start to share spreadsheets and budgets and keep all that information within a job structure, and also using the cloud-based software. So you can truly collaborate, not just within WorkFlow Max, but actually on files and budgets and forecasts if you wanted to, rather than sending files back and forward where you've got copies and you're not working off the exact correct version. A little bit on the setup of this. So you go into the, and there's great documentation on WorkFlow Max on how to do this, or obviously you can reach out to us, but there's a couple of things you need to be aware of is the structure of the files. So you go into the accounts and link, as I said, you can link Box, Dropbox, Office 365 via the full suite, and also Google Drive. You have to have the setup so that it is client and then job. So that's the structure of the files that has to work through, and it works through in that structure. So I've shown quickly there are two add-ins, the Office 365 one and also the document ones. There's a whole lot more, and I will just touch on a couple of those on the WorkFlow Max side. So if we come down, we can see that we've got the popular ones that you're aware of, obviously accounting tools, Some scheduling tools, so this Deputy is a good one to look at. Some of the time tracking tools, so this allows organizations, we've got a client using the Adobe one in the graphic and design industry, they can create and record their timesheets right within the Adobe program, so they don't even need to come out to WorkFlow Max. In fact, some of the staff may not even know who are entering time that they're using WorkFlow Max, but the team behind doing the scheduling would. So you can have these add-ins here. Some CRM tools, we're going to cover this Form Basic one in a second. Custom support, very useful for organizations that take a ticket. So if you've had support tickets, this is very good. In fact, I believe the team from WorkFlow Max used the Zendesk one, or did use it for a period of time, and that's really good for ticket tracking, but also recording the time. Obviously payroll ones that I mentioned you know about, and then some of the document management tools that we talked through there, and receipt tracking and reporting. So there's some really neat add-in tools available. I encourage you to have a look. Now, we're just going to talk about the leads within WorkFlow Max. So Lead Manager allows you to create the first step of a process. So that would be a customer normally inquires either via the website or via a phone call, and they're looking to gather some information. So let's show how that works, and then I'll show you a little bit more about how the Lead Manager works. So in this scenario, we've got a website form that has been created for Orange Landscaping, and so they are branching out, and Percy Polar Bear is looking for a pool. So he comes to a website. This has got nothing to do with WorkFlow Max, and we press send. Inquiry comes in. I'm going to go back into WorkFlow Max, so we're back into the Orange Landscaping WorkFlow Max. And in this business section, if you've got the Lead Manager turned on, the Lead Manager is an extra $15 per month, not per user, just for the whole organization. We can see the leads here. Now, it creates a dashboard by category, etc., but we're going to come in and have a look in this total leads, and we'll see here that Percy Polar Bear has come straight into WorkFlow Max. So he's put in some information around needing an ice pool. Now, Orange Landscaping are running a campaign, so they're going to associate that with a template. Just as you can associate a job template, you can associate a quote template. So this is a swimming pool template. And you'll see here that it's created some tasks. So we've got a follow-up cycle, and we want to qualify quite hard on this customer. We can add some more notes. Let's see. We can assign a category to it, so it's in the swimming pools, and we're also going to assign a value to that lead of, I don't know what a pool for a polar bear would be. I suspect it would be rather expensive. So that's there. You can email, just like we showed with the Collaboration Manager, you can email information, and that will sit and build up a track of information down here. So you can start to track all that activity around a lead. You can issue multiple quotes if you need to, and as soon as one of those quotes are accepted, they become a client. In the dashboard area within the Lead Manager, you can start to see the value of those leads and also the activity, so you can start to categorize those as well and see how many leads you're getting in various campaigns. So really good for having a quick high-level dashboard of how your leads are going. Recent history allows you to see the information around those leads to see what kind of activity your sales team have been up to, and in fact you can even come through into activities here and see what is on, so you can chase and see whether those leads have been followed up. So to use that, we're using a tool, an add-in tool, to do this page here from this company called Form Basic. So it's a very simple way to put an add-in in. So we've been through very quickly a few areas, and I'm going to cover off one more in a little bit more depth. And this is, and apologies for the technical slides here, but we're going to talk about Power BI. So Power BI is a new tool from Microsoft that allows you to produce some really fascinating dashboards. So you'll see there's some dashboards and data of information. It's a free tool. There are some paid options around, and again, there's a bit more information on the show notes at the end of this. It's a great way for accounting partners to add value and use your existing skill within Excel. So it does need skill within Excel to produce these reports, and so I'm going to go reasonably deep in Excel over the next couple of slides. So hang on and bear with me there, but great revenue stream for accounting partners here as well who may have established skill within Excel. So what are we doing in this world? How do we do this? We're taking information from WorkFlow Max. We're sucking it out with this tool from a company called QuickWin Development. It's an Excel plugin. Some of you may be familiar with it. And we're then manipulating that data and massaging it within some tools within Excel. So one is a tool called Power Query, and another tool is called Power Pivot. Touch on that in a second. And then we're exporting that information into Power BI so the clients can consume and report on that data. And that's using OneDrive for Business. So we've got a couple of slides here I'm going to pop out and just build this presentation. So firstly, when you export information into WorkFlow Max, out of WorkFlow Max, it comes out in different tables, so separate tables of information. All the quotes in one sheet, all my clients in another sheet, and all my invoices in the third sheet. That then comes through, and in this next slide here you can see that we use a tool within, and so this is all within Excel, you don't have to pay more for this, a tool called Power Pivot to link the slides. So you can see here that we've made some links based on those tables. From there, you just save the data into OneDrive for Business and you can start to produce some reports. So it does take good knowledge of the data. We can help and train in this area, and it does take a good skill set in Excel to be able to do it on a regular basis, which may sit within your practice. So let's have a look at this Power BI demo. So to log into Power BI, you just log into Office 365, and we've got some information here. This is the Office 365. This is a fictitious professional services firm. And the first thing is you've got some dashboards here. So you can actually just query data straight away. So this is so easy for end users to do. So maybe I want to look at minutes by. And you can see that it automatically produces a minutes by city graph. And in fact, you can then turn it into a waterfall chart. So it's querying that on the fly and you're just asking it questions, which is pretty neat. You can then jump into these reports and you'll see here we've got different pages here and you can start to view these. So say we want to see how Larry's doing. So this chart is billable is green, non-billable is red. So we can see what Larry's been up to and you can see that that data is moving and visualizing as we go through, or Mary. So we can actually jump through and the data is querying there. Again, you can build these reports however you want, and again, great value add for your practice. It will also take data and visualize it straight onto a chart, so you can work your way through. And this chart is showing what type of products and services are being sold in which city. So you can drag it through. You can get a bit of a picture there. And finally, you can start to see invoices by region, and you can even start clicking these and it'll adjust the chart. So that's Power BI. That's a very simple view of what's possible within it. I just want to show you a couple of other options within Power BI too. So this is the newly to be released Zero add-in. So we'll just go up to the dashboard here. So this, I believe, is coming live in the next few weeks, I imagine, hopefully. We've been beta testing it. So this is a Zero plugin. You can plug this straight into Zero and you can report information straight out of Zero, and these dashboards are already done. So what I showed earlier within WorkFlow Max, your practice could actually build out some more dashboards that suit your client, because you'd want to customize this reporting to suit your client. But again, we can jump in here and you've got some really powerful reporting. You can even produce little pictures. You see here, this is showing over time as invoices come in and out. So there's some really great graph and chart features within Power BI. Profit and loss, etc. And again, this is you just connect Zero straight through. So the purpose of showing this is what you can go further within WorkFlow Max to produce some great reporting for your clients. The same also within Dynamics CRM or in other tools. So we've got a CRM dashboard here as well with these lovely watermelon charts, etc. Of information. So great tool there with Power BI. So that's sort of drawing us to the end. We've been a little bit quicker than I thought we would be, but just to recap, we've touched on the WorkFlow Max integration into Outlook. So you can hit the Zero button and view information around a client when they come straight into WorkFlow Max. into your email. You can view their information within WorkFlow Max. We've also touched on how you can then send that information into WorkFlow Max and have that information stored against a job. Take that further and you can actually link your cloud storage into WorkFlow Max using Google Drive. So here we had two files that are sitting both within WorkFlow Max and within Google Drive. We've covered, to recap, we've covered how you can link information externally from your website into WorkFlow Max, so you can be faster and more productive around lead capture. So this was a great one to be able to actually see that you don't miss those leads that are important, and you can qualify out the ones that you don't want to, but you can work really quickly and also have a record of that, of seeing how many leads you're getting through within your business. And finally, we touched on Power BI, how you can suck information out of WorkFlow Max and into Microsoft Power BI, and then be able to visualize that data in some really amazing ways to be able to share with your clients so they can view and report on that area. So that's what I wanted to cover over today. I'd welcome some questions, and what we have put at the end is, if you go to the site here, rippedorange.co.nz WFM tips, we've got a OneNote file which has some more information there, including links and details around some of the features that I've shown, and where you can go to get information and try them out.
Well, that was absolutely fantastic, Dave. Nice punchy presentation there, and really exciting to see the scope of what can be achieved through integration with WorkFlow Max. All right, so just a quick overview from here, folks. What I'd encourage you to do as a first point, if you just go to workflowmax.com/partners, I encourage you to look at the advisor program within WorkFlow Max. So the way to do that is you just click on that and then go to Become a WorkFlow Max advisor and register from there. We are now going to be taking some questions. You should be able to see now my screen, which shows thanks for attending, the details of Dave Jackson and myself. And before we go on to questions, I'm just going to quickly introduce our speaker for next week. So the speaker next week is going to be Heidi Seal from Living Business. Heidi's one of our most experienced partners. She's been about 8 years working in and around that cloud services space. She was the founder of Bay Business Services, which is now Living Business. She's the NZBAI Community Contributor of the Year in 2014. She's also spoken at XeroCon in 2015 about the evolution of bookkeeping. She's founded the Tauranga Cloud Expo, and she's also had experience working with other add-ons such as Vend and Unleashed, and a very experienced Xero user as well. Really, in terms of thinking about the value of this information and where we can add value to your clients, make them that much stickier, and actually increase their value. If you've got the information that the average person can't gain access to about their business, you can really start to add value and help them improve. All right, folks, we will wind things up now, but it's been an absolute pleasure having you aboard, and have a great day. We'll see you next week with Heidi Seal from Living Business.